This book is called The Post Office Book, Mail and How It Moves. It was written by and illustrated by Gail Gibbons. So if you live in Michigan and you have a pen pal in Alabama, you might be curious how the letter you write or the card you mail gets from Michigan to Alabama. You put a stamp on it, you bring it to the post office, but then what happens? That's what this book is about. This little Jeep is being driven by a letter carrier who has in the back of that Jeep bags of mail. And the mail is coming to all the customers on the route. In the book, The Post Office Book, Mail and How It Moves by Gail Gibbons. Since early times, people have sent messages and packages to one another. Even before America was its own country, mail sent from places like Ireland or Japan or Egypt or Australia came to those 13 original colonies on ocean-going sailing ships. On July 2nd, 1775, 1 year before the Declaration of Independence, the Continental Congress made Ben Franklin America's first Postmaster General, and the post office is written into our Constitution. The Pony Express, where teams of riders would take turns riding across country on ponies, riders like young Buffalo Bill Cody, and it's very famous, although it only operated from 1860 until 1861. Down at the bottom, on the right-hand side here, you see a railroad line. Well, the Railway Post Office started in 1864, and that kept going until 1977. Clerks would sort the mail on special rail cars that traveled between cities, and when they left, say, New York and ended up in Albany, they'd have sorted enough mail to drop off in Albany. There was a little dog who used to go on that particular run. He became the mascot of the post office. His name is Oni. We're going to see a picture of him later. Nowadays, the post office is run by the United States Postal Service, and we have modern ways of sending mail. The sender pays to have something mailed. A stamp shows the cost. A heavy piece of mail costs more to send than a lighter piece. An address and a zip code tell where the mail is going. This package is a shipment of live baby chicks. Peep, 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 peep. The baby chicks are supposed to be shipped to Osseo, Wisconsin. You will see them delivered later in the book. The zip code is a 5-digit number. It tells where you are in the United States. ZIP, Z-I-P, stands for Zone Improvement Plan. And where mail used to be addressed to Lansing 12, Michigan, 12 was the zone of the city. Now it's addressed to Michigan 48912, 48912. This circled zip code is a longer zip code. It's called zip plus 4. 60607 tells the post office that this address is in Chicago. The 1123 part tells which part of Chicago. The numbers work sort of like this. Start with 0, come down here to 1, 2, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, the 6s, the 7s, the 8s, and the 9s. Up in Maine is a 0, go up and down all over the country, and out in California, Oregon, Washington, Alaska, and Hawaii, those all start with 9. When the post office created the zip codes for all of the addresses in America, they also created 2-letter abbreviations for every state. AK, that's Alaska. AL, that's Alabama. AR, that's Arkansas. AZ, Arizona. Can you do these? The ones that start with M? This one's Michigan. Like Michigan, these next 3 states also start with MI. This is why it's helpful to have 2-letter abbreviations for every state. Things can be mailed at a post office or placed in a mailbox. A letter carrier picks up mail from the mailbox. The mail goes to the local post office, where it is sorted by hand to divide local mail, mail for nearby places, from mail for out of town. The out of town mail is put on a truck and sent to the big area post office. The big area post office receives mail from many local post offices. So if you live in a small town 20 miles from Denver, Colorado, your mail probably goes first to Denver, where the mail from all the surrounding places in Colorado come. Inside the big area post office, a culling machine divides the oversized or odd-shaped mail from the regular mail. The people working here do not have to wear uniforms, but they are the mail handlers, and they help get this work done. Postal workers, like these mail handlers, handle this mail separately and get it ready to be sorted by postal clerks. Postal clerks are the people who actually sort the mail. In this drawing, next in the process come the sorting machines. This is an old-fashioned kind of sorting machine called a letter sorting machine. Postal workers at the machines read the zip codes and punch those numbers into a computer, which drops the letters, with the help of the machine, into the correct zip code bins. So each bin has a collection of letters all going to that same set of zip codes. Other postal workers stack the letters into the correct zip code trays. The trays are then boxed and tied up so that they can be sent on trucks to those places. This person is a postal worker, a clerk, who's getting the mail ready for Florida and Ohio. These 2 postal clerks are using an old-fashioned tying machine that puts a rope around cardboard boxes that the letters go in so the boxes don't come apart. All the mail is then loaded onto trucks. Did you notice the baby chicks in the picture? Some trucks go to boats or planes. Their mail will go to foreign countries. Some trucks bring their zip-coded mail straight to other area big post offices. So a truck from Denver might drive all the way to Kansas City, Missouri. Other trucks carry zip-coded mail for faraway parts of the country. If you live in Florida and mail something to Idaho, that's a long way for that piece of mail to go. Mail like that is put onto planes going to the different zip code areas. There it is unloaded and sent to the correct big area post office. At the big area post office, the mail is sorted again to go to the smaller local post offices, where it is sorted once more. Sometimes there are people sorting it by hand, And a lot of times there are machines that read the numbers in the postcode, and they can scan it the way you can scan items at the grocery store so that the mail goes to the right city and the right letter carrier. Some of the mail goes into private mailboxes that people rent right at the post office. So if you address something and it's going to Post Office Box 321 in Missoula, Montana, that's this kind of a situation, a mailbox. And if I tell you this is a post office in Osseo, Wisconsin, can you see the baby chicks being delivered? Letter carriers pick up the rest of the mail that's not going to a post office box, and they deliver it to people's houses, to people's businesses, right into their mailbox by the street, or right into the mail slot in their front door. All different kinds of ways of delivering the mail. And probably they deliver it to you. You probably have a letter carrier who most days brings the mail to your apartment or to your house. A few more fun mail facts for you to look at. Here's Ben Franklin. Do you remember what year he became our Postmaster General? That was 1775. And here's a fun fact. Reindeer are used to carry the mail in Alaska. So are small planes. Bush pilots carry a lot of the mail in Alaska. And here's the Pony Express. So this book, with its illustrations and its words, was put together by Gail Gibbons. She was born in Oak Park, Illinois, went to the University of Illinois, and loves being a person who creates books for young readers. This, How to Mail a Letter, and this, Thank Your Mail Carrier coloring pages, these are sections at the Postal Museum webpage. Postal Museum is one of the Smithsonian Institution's several museums, and it's a great place to find things about the post office, including the story of Oni, the U.S. Postal Service mascot. Many young people have fun pretending to run a post office at school or at home, or pretending to learn about it, or wearing a letter carrier uniform. Can you think of a way you could pretend what it's like to work for the post office or to send mail? That might be fun. So next time you receive a letter from your pen pal, all the way across the country, you'll understand how it got to you, because of The Post Office Book and How It Moves by Gail Gibbons.